Alors, bonsoir tout le monde. Bienvenue à cette réunion.
Good evening and welcome to this regular public meeting, 26th of March. We go to the opening word. I have to find it first. Monsieur Godet, what have you done? My desk was really well organized. What happened? Oh, so, dear colleagues, may we have the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can change, and the wisdom to know the difference. So, good evening to all. No, good evening to all. Not, okay, thought it was the end of the meeting. Call to order, that's done. Confirmation of quorum by clerk. It seems that we have enough heads around the table, which seem to be okay. Declarations of conflict of interest, none. So we continue with the adoption of the agenda. Moved by Councillor Cormier, seconded by Councillor Leblanc. Oh, you weren't here, yeah. I noticed that too. Seconded by Councillor Arsenault for the adoption of the agenda. Questions? No questions? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Contrary-minded, nay. Carried as presented. Presentations, inquiries, petitions. 7.1 inquiries by council members to Kodiak Regional RCMP. Welcome this evening to Mr. Superintendent. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of council. I'm sorry we were absent at the preceding meeting. I think that you've received an email from Luc. Anyway, my regrets. As for today, statistics are on the website, as usual, concerning the top 5 infractions, crimes, sorry. My members are very busy on the roadways, streets, I noticed in the Dieppe area. So we're going to continue to work on the problems on the streets. I'm very satisfied with their work. One last thing. There was a meeting in Moncton, a private meeting. What we'd like to do is have another meeting here in Dieppe and then another one in Dieppe. So I would like to maybe set a date. Yeah, Mr. Melanson will confirm that with you later on this evening or tomorrow. Okay, that's all I have. So questions from members of council? No questions? So you're always welcome to stay here if it may please you. But if it becomes too dull, well, you know what to do. Thank you. Questions by members of the public? None? Adoption of minutes. A regular council meeting held on the 12th of March. Moved by Councillor Thibodeau, seconded by Councillor Godet. On the question? No question. All those in favor of the resolution, signify by saying aye. Contrary-minded, nay. So the minutes of the 12th of March are carried as presented. Item 10, motions, memorandums, and nominations. 10.1, culture, leisure, and community life. Mr. Melanson. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening. As the first file, you have before you a recommendation for the adoption of the partnership agreement with the Dieppe Salon du Livre, which is basically a 5-year agreement. So there are no changes to the agreement. Each partner is comfortable and feels confident that everything is going very well. So staff is ready to recommend another 5-year period. For the reading of the resolution, Madame Arsenault, please. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. that Council accept the partnership agreement between the City of Dieppe and Salon du Livre de Dieppe, Inc. for a 5-year period ending March 31st, 2023. So moved, Mr. Mayor. Moved by Councillor Arsenault, seconded by Councillor Leblanc. On the question. No question. All those in favor of resolution signify by saying aye. Contrary-minded, nay. Carried. Item 10.2, Finance, 10.2.1, Mr. Melanson. So before you have a request for financing or funding at the New-Brunswick Municipal Finance Corporation for an amount of $600,000. It's within our project concerning Aviation Street, so it's for the formal application to finalize the request. For the reading of the resolution, Mr. Thibodeau. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Council authorized the clerk, the treasurer, or the mayor to issue and sell to the New-Brunswick Municipal Finance Corporation a Municipality of Dieppe debenture in the amount of $600,000 on such terms and conditions as are recommended by the corporation, and further authorize that the Municipality of Dieppe agree to issue post-dated checks payable to the New-Brunswick Municipal Finance Corporation as and when they are requested, in payment of principal and interest charges on said debentures. So moved, Mr. Mayor. Moved by Councillor Thibodeau, seconded by Councillor Arsenault on the question. No question? All those in favor of the resolution signify by saying aye. Contrary-minded, nay. The resolution is carried as presented. Engineering, 10.3.1, Mr. Melanson. As you know, there's a project of extension of College Street towards Alain Gillette. It's in the works for a couple of years, so you have been informed that there should be an expropriation on one parcel. So following the report of the Expropriations Advisory Officer, Ms. Isabelle Paulin, it confirms the appropriation. So today it's the formal application for the expropriation. Thank you for the reading of the resolution. Monsieur Alain. Be it resolved that the City of Dieppe, having received no, this we're talking about 10.3.1. Sorry. Be it resolved that the City of Dieppe, having received and considered the report of the Expropriations Advisory Officer, Ms. Isabelle Paulin, dated February 26, 2018, confirm its notice of intention to expropriate, and that a notice of expropriation be issued with respect to the lands described in the notice filed on January 17, 2018, in the Land Titles Office, New Brunswick, as number 37727709. The Council authorized expenditure, the amount of which will be determined following the conclusion of the agreement, be defrayed from account number 3-3-35-58-7621, General Capital Budget, College Street Extension. So moved. Moved by Councillor Alain, seconded by Councillor Cormier on the question. No questions? All those in favor of the resolution signify by saying aye. Contrary-minded, nay. The resolution is carried. Next item, 10.3.2. Before you have the ratification signing authority for the 372-374 Gauvin Road. It's within the same project of the extension of College Street towards Alain Gillette. There was a directive to purchase lands. So this is to make things official for approval tonight. For the reading of the resolution, Monsieur Leblanc. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. that Council ratify the acquisition contract signature for the purpose of land parcels located at 372 and 374 Gauvin Road and identified under PID 70176755 and 701-75203 for the College Street extension. So moved, Mr. Mayor. Moved by Councillor Leblanc, seconded by Councillor Godette. On the question. No question. All those in favor of the resolution signify by saying aye. Contrary-minded, nay. Carried as presented. 10.4, Planning and Development. 10.4.1, Mr. Mélenchon. If you remember, we adopted and tabled in the downtown project. We need bylaw Z9, so we'd like to set a public presentation for April 9th. And there'll be a public hearing on the 23rd of April here at the Dieppe City Hall. So it's to officialize this, these steps. Thank you for the reading of the resolution, Mr. Cormier. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That Council schedule a public presentation on April 9, 2018 at 7 p.m. at the Dieppe City Hall to present proposed changes to the Municipal Development Plan Bylaw Z-9 2017 and a public hearing on April 23, 2018 at 7 p.m. at the Dieppe City Hall to hear objections on the proposed changes to zoning bylaw Z-10 2017. This to permit the implementation of the recommendations outlined in the Downtown Master Plan, as well as to bring changes to the text of those two bylaws relating to the adoption of the new Community Planning Act C-19. And that Council requests the written views of the Planning Advisory Committee and extend the deadline pursuant to Article 110, bracket 3, of the Community Planning Act to May 14th, 2018. So moved. Moved by Councillor Cormier, seconded by Councillor Thibodeau. On the question? No question? All those in favor of the resolution, signify by saying aye. Contrary-minded, nay. The resolution is carried as presented. Item 10.5, Public Works. 10.5.1, Mr. Melanson. In 2014, we went to RFPs for the elimination of waste. Faro Waste and Recycling had been awarded the contract. There was an option to extend the contract for 2 years with the evaluation of the service that we received. Staff is comfortable and feels confident to recommend that we extend the contract for 2 years, which would end on 30th of June 2020 at the cost of $1,165,911.30, HST included. For the reading of the resolution, Madame Arsenault. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Council authorized an extension to the contract with Faro Waste and Recycling, Inc. until June 2020 for the blue, clear, and green waste collection and the disposal service at the cost of $1,165,911.30, HST included, and further authorized that this expenditure be defrayed from account number 1-2-42-69-2690, General Operating Budget, Solid Waste Disposal. So moved, Mr. Mayor. Moved by Councillor Arsenault, seconded by Councillor Godette. On the question, Mr. Godette. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I see in the document that not only is there an extension, but there's an increase of 2% in the price of the contract. Was it specified in the 2-year extension contract that there would automatically be a 2% increase? So, Mr. Knowles, good evening. The 2% was negotiated with the company. Beforehand? No, it wasn't part of the extension. It was negotiated about 2 months ago. with the renewal or with the extension of the contract. I was just curious to find out, could it have been 5%? Why was it 2%, and when? Because normally when there's
Se font habituellement au même.
usually it's at the same amount, unless beforehand there had been an agreement. Because here I'm wondering if there's somebody who might come and complain that they had an opportunity to bid on it, but was it? I mean, the question is being raised. We can table this maybe for this week, and then we can come back with some clarification at a later date. So, motion to table this item, moved by Councillor Alain, seconded by Councillor Thibodeau, that we table the issue and that we come back to it at the next meeting. I had exactly the same question as Councillor Godet, and it's indicated year over year. Is it 2% per year? Is it percent for the two following years? It's per year, 2% increase. All right, so we'll get back to this on the 9th of April. 10.5.2. Mr. Cormier, you have a question? So is there a vote on a motion to table? I think it's an automatic, is it not? No, I'm going to have to look at this. Motion to table. Adjournment. Mover, seconder. So moved by Alain, seconded by Councillor Leblanc, that we table this resolution till the 9th of April. On the question. No other questions? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Contrary-minded, nay. So item 10.5.1 is tabled till the next meeting. 10.5.2, Mr. Melanson. So it's season of asphalt repair season. So there's an RFP recommendation from Dexter Construction Company Limited for the amount of $491,200 plus HST. Following the RFP, there are 3 companies bid, and this one was to award this one at the lowest bidder. For the reading of the resolution, Monsieur Thibodeau. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Council award the contract for the project entitled 2018 Asphalt Repairs to the lowest bidder, being Dexter Construction Company Limited, at the cost of $491,200 plus HST, and authorize that this expenditure be defrayed from the general operating budget and the water and sewer operating budget accounts listed in the memorandum relating to the said project dated March 15, 2018. So moved, Mr. Mayor. Moved by Councillor Thibodeau, seconded by Councillor Cormier. On the question, Monsieur Leblanc. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. 2 questions. First, was the amount that had been budgeted during the budget sessions, and how does it compare to the budgeted amounts for last year? So according to the estimate, we're a little bit above, but we agreed to say that the amount can vary. I mean, did we do an estimate of the work? So with the budget amounts that we have in place, and compared to last year, Mr. Knowles, is there an increase in the budget? Concerning asphalt repairs, it's the same amount budgeted. I thought we had reduced the amount this year. There are always potholes that pop up or pop down different areas. I'm happy to see that we didn't cut, because I think we're going to need it. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Contrary-minded, nay. Carried. 10.5.3. Same thing, repairs here for curb, gutter, and sidewalk. An RFP, 2 bids. Recommendation of A.R. Ritzel Landscape for $73,570 plus HST for approval by council tonight. Councillor Alain. That council award the contract for the project entitled 2018 Curb, Gutter, and Sidewalk Repairs to A.R. Ritzel Landscaping Limited at the cost of $73,570 plus HST, and authorize that this expenditure be defrayed from the general operating budget and the water and sewer operating budget accounts listed in the memorandum relating to said project dated March 15, 2018. So moved, Mr. Mayor. Seconded by Councillor Godet. On the question. No questions. All those in favor of resolution signify by saying aye. Contrary-minded, nay. Resolution is carried as presented. 11, municipal bylaws. 11.1, zoning bylaws, Z10, 2017, reading in its entirety. Monsieur Leblanc. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Bylaw number Z-10, 2017-1, a bylaw to amend the City of Dieppe zoning bylaw. The Council of the City of Dieppe, under the authority vested in it by the Community Planning Act, RSNB 2017 C19, enacts as follows. The City of Dieppe zoning bylaw, being bylaw number Z-10 2017, enacted on the 11th day of September 2017 and filed in the Westmoreland County Registry Office as number 375-38783 on November 3, 2017, is hereby amended as follows. Schedule A, entitled City of Dieppe Zoning Map, whenever it is mentioned in the text of the zoning bylaw, is amended by the map hereto attached as Schedule A-1. So moved in its reading in its entirety. Councillor Leblanc, seconded by Councillor Alain. On the question. No question. All those in favor of this resolution signify by saying aye. Contrary-minded, nay. The motion is carried. The zoning bylaw is carried in its entirety. Now, for the third reading, by title only, Monsieur Leblanc. Bylaw number Z-10 2017-1, a bylaw to amend the City of Dieppe zoning bylaw. So moved in its third reading by title only. Moved by Councillor Leblanc, seconded by Councillor Leblanc. In its third reading by title only. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Contrary-minded, nay. So, the bylaw Z-10 2017-1 is carried, accepted in its third reading. Are there any notices of motion tonight? No, but we certainly have inquiries and announcements by members of council. So, if I remember properly, we started with Monsieur Alain, so we're going to start with Monsieur Godet. It's your turn tonight. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would just like to wish to everyone a Merry or Happy Easter for this weekend. Have fun. Unfortunately, it's on the 1st of April because it's going to be a little bit difficult to play tricks, but we'll try anyway. So Happy Easter to everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Monsieur Leblanc. Mr. Mayor, I have nothing to say tonight. Thank you, Mr. Cormier. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would like to congratulate the recipients of the awards at the Entrepreneurs Banquet on Friday night in Dieppe. Congratulate the organizers, and I'd also like to say thank you to the volunteers and the organizers of the Pee Wee hockey tournament in Dieppe at AGL, and congratulate the teams for their sportsmanship. That's it. Thank you. Thank you, Monsieur Thibodeau. Mr. Mayor, I have nothing tonight. Thank you, Madame Arsenault. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. couple of points that I would like to mention. I went to the Junior Achievement Banquet here at the Wingate Hotel. It was very good. The youth were really excited. On the 15th, it was the Economic Council, once again at the Wingate, and there were a couple of councillors who came on the 14th and the 15th, not just me. There were discussions with, we had Madame Michelle Jean at the Wingate, and that was really nice. It was very informative. Madame is very dynamic. On the 17th of March, we had a multicultural evening at the Community College of New-Brunswick here in Dieppe, and that also was very good. On the 21st of March, it was the Phenomenal Women's Award Gala here in Moncton, and it was Angela Harris who won the award. Just to say congratulations to Madame Harris for being the phenomenal woman for 2018. The 21st was the launch of the Festival Fry program. It was in Moncton. This is also a very nice program, and it's something that we should remember, is that Monsieur Fry said in one of his critics that literature encourages tolerance, and we know that we need tolerance in everything and everywhere. On the 21st, it was the ballet, Piaf Ballet at the capital. The 23rd, it was at the Arts Dieppe Paul Harris Recognition Award here at Dieppe, and it's somebody from Dieppe who won, André Savoie, and we're really proud of her. She really deserved this, and we're very proud that she was honored in such a way. And it was the same evening as the Entrepreneurs Banquet. That's to say that next year I will go to the Entrepreneurs Banquets, and the reason why I didn't go there is the date was changed. And the ice rink is closed after tonight. So there were 120 days during which it was operational for this season, and it will reopen in November 2018. That is a very pleasant ice rink. We're very proud of it, and with that, I wish everybody a happy Easter. Monsieur Alain. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's more a comment or a question to our city manager. I'm happy to say that there's a multicultural municipality that were francophone too. Just a comment that I received. It raised quite a few questions concerning the francophonie, the signage. It was a subject that was debated at this table. I think we have a fairly clear policy, but concerning the process, if there are any infractions or if there are people who don't use signage properly, do our bylaw enforcement officers go see these businesses? How can these people be made aware that there is a bylaw on signage? Well, first of all, when a business or a business person comes to pick up a construction permit, we inform them of the signage, facts about signage. So sometimes they come and see us maybe sometimes later than sooner, but that would be a first step. And then our bylaw agents do some types of verifications. For example, the example on the newspaper, we have the authority only on outside signage. Inside signage, we have nothing to do with that, but we do request businesses to respect the official languages of Dieppe, English and French, but our authority is limited only to outside. So what was mentioned in the newspaper concerned the inside signage, so we have no authority. We go talk to them, maybe try to improve things. That's what I was asked over the weekend. People raised good questions. I'm proud to be a francophone. I'm happy to be living in English and French. We have a process that's set up. So I invite people who may have other questions to contact us Thank you very much. I just wanted to mention two items. First of all, congratulate our U14 girls from Dieppe who once again were in the final. There's always just one winner, but we congratulate the winner, but we congratulate the participants for the Ringuette Provincial Championship in Fredericton. The other item, and I think I circulated this little sign or this little poster, which was basically the top part of the poster was at the stand that we were at last 2 weeks ago at the MIPIN program, which is the largest exhibit for real estate, and we were chosen to participate to represent the New-Brunswick. So as you know, Monsieur Melançon, Monsieur Godbout, and Monsieur Léger from Expansion Dieppe and myself of the municipality, and Madame Corinne Zakayevsky from Opportunity New Brunswick. Don't look at me like that. That's her name. Opportunity New Brunswick. And over the 4 days that we spent there were a lot of exchanges, a lot of contacts. It's enormous, actually. It's worldwide, 100 countries, 5,000 investors, 3,800 CEOs from different organizations, and more than 25,000 participants. Our stand, as such, we had about 60 direct interventions, discussions with real estate investors and other people and regroupments that were present. We have follow-ups with 40 of these people. 7 projects were discussed, of which 3 business entrepreneurs who were interested in New Brunswick. So you can imagine when you go to an exhibit like this, I mean, there are people who don't even know where Toronto is. So if you think that they knew New Brunswick, well, we had to explain to them. And that's why we had the map there. And we discussed the whole question of cargo, that it was more economic to land a cargo jet plane at the Romeo Leblanc International Airport and to unload and put it on trucks to send it to Toronto or to New York or to Boston, than to land the same plane in New York or in Boston because of the landing fees in the United States, for example. So when the people heard this, it was a message that they found very interesting. As a matter of fact, there were discussions with a lot of people concerning immigration. Immigration to New Brunswick, what did it involve and all that. And there was also Thursday night, thank you to the Beau Soleil Oyster Company. We had 4 cases of oysters that we shared with people who stopped at our stand on Thursday night between 4:30 and 6. And Monsieur Léger, Godbout, and Melançon worked. I was doing logistics. I was transferring oysters, but they did the oyster chucking. So we had a lot of visibility. As a matter of fact, I participated in a panel with a councillor from Toronto, Mr. Thompson, who's responsible for the activity in Toronto that they call Global Toronto, which is basically essentially to attract investors in the Toronto area. So there was him, myself, a gentleman from Surrey in BC, and a gentleman from Winnipeg. And the important question that was debated was the question, what are the impacts of American policies or politics on Canadians, on Canada? So we had a good long discussion on that. And the thing was, well, why should we were basically saying, why should we invest in New-Brunswick? Okay, we're talking specifically about Dieppe, obviously, but so it was a very enriching experience, unforgettable experience as far as contacts was concerned, human contacts, but business contacts also. And I know that there will be follow-ups with some businesses, entrepreneurs, more specifically businesses with whom we spent a lot of time over there. So that's the report on my trip over there. We went to Dieppe in France during the weekend to continue to work on our twinning programs. We met Mayor Langlois and the deputy from Saint-Maritime, Monsieur Juniel, the former. We met the Canadian Film Festival people there. So 3-4 days after we left, Phil Como, congratulations to him for the award that he won, the festival award. We met the people from the Kite Festival. Saturday and Sunday we had 3 or 4 meetings a day, so it was a very active weekend. And when I came back, I picked up the cold that I had left here when I went to France. So that being it, thank you very much and have a good evening. Thank you.